Throughout this episode, you're going to see a huge transition. We're starting with the loader bucket here, trying to build a road. If you've watched our channel in the past, you know that I'm a novice at best with a box blade, so it's typically not my first choice when it comes to tools to move dirt. So watch this episode with that in mind. You'll see me warm up to the box blade, and who knows, maybe even become a fan. Let's get started. I've got the box blade on now. I'm thinking that I can dig this a little faster with it. It's not real hard right in here. It's pretty good soil.
Well, we'll see how much oomph he's got.
All right. This first task's pretty straightforward. We want to lower that hump a little bit right there where the fence was. We want to make sure we leave a little bit of a road ditch there, but we should be able to make that a little bit smoother. We've got several spots right down the hill, just a few feet here, where we can use that dirt and smooth this all out to make the entrance a little bit nicer for a truck or Gator or whatever.
Where we were just talking right now, that the 10 feet, no, it's going to, instead of 3 meters, it's probably 4.5 meters.
This is 10.
Because it's
All the way to that stick then.
Casi entre el palo, yeah, for the entrance.
In here?
You were videoing, but when he started back here with that, did you see the looks on their faces when they saw how fast he did that?
I thought I did. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, they like the box blade.
Is that enough excavation
Eso
for
es
this?
suficiente nivelado aquí?
We need
Right
a
here?
little. We need a little bit of a ditch to remain there to keep the water from
Siempre
coming this way.
necesitamos algo de cuneta, va, para, yes. We'll break through right here where you're at. And so we'll make a curve, and then we'll turn back. We'll switch back down.
It's working well. Boy, this is nice soil.
This is really easily because I'm pulling directly. This down here, I've got to go with the dirt. I really need to go that way with it to build up the far side of the road. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to do that.
You're going to try to lower this side?
Should I go this direction, lower this side, or should I back into it and pull it down?
How much down?
All of it. It's one more.
Oh,
That's all we got.
Yeah.
Let me just say what the plan is.
Sure.
And then the plan may not work.
Sure.
The plan is to drive along the fence line, along the rope,
Okay.
and just scar with the scarifiers.
Sure.
Then to drive, and then to raise the scarifiers and pull the soil straight this way so that we can level it.
Level up.
Because if I try to pull that way, all the dirt ends up down there. And we really want the dirt basically where he's standing.
Right.
Or a little further, right?
Dos ganchos y dejamos dos ganchos, por ejemplo, estos dos.
Sí, le dije.
Ajá, ¿y qué dijo?
I see his point. His point is if I put
Punto
one
es
down
que
further.
si usted, sí.
Sí.
We'll all learn together.
Yeah,
You
maybe,
see his point, he sees your
see,
point, and then I guess we'll see what works.
Maybe his point is going to be best for the detail stage once we get the bulk of the moving
Tal
done.
vez.
If you haven't figured out, I don't know what I'm doing. Getting through this sod has proven to be quite difficult. Let's try his idea and just have just the right one down. We're showing all this because I want you to see that sometimes it's trial and error. You don't have to know all the answers before you start. I know how we want it to look, and I'm absolutely certain that Johnny, with this little box blade, can do it. We just have to figure out how. In your case, you probably won't have 10 or 15 people on site and several thousand on YouTube watching you while you experiment. Just take your time, keep trying different approaches until you figure it out. I just don't know. I mean, I guess I'm still experimenting. I don't know. I guess put them
Nothing
all
wrong with that.
down again. I'm sorry it's taking all the time.
No.
He's sorry it's taking all the time?
Yeah.
It's
Are you kidding me?
Figure out
I'm already
what
like,
box blade.
hey, we're in. That's step one,
I
right?
don't have to take it down more
I don't know
soil.
if I need those all the way down, but
To the point where I'm like, oh, now I know where we have a plan.
Oh, okay.
Now we're ahead, because he's like, we're going to go here, here, here. Hey, when we started, we didn't have that. That's another step forward for us.
I think Felipe got the gift of encouragement from his dad.
Ronnie was expressing a Christian brotherly concern. He's like, hey, because he doesn't know Tim yet. He's like, hey, these things can tip over. And I was like, thank you.
I can't get
I was
through
like,
the side.
It's fine.
I mean, my intent was to do those initial cuts and then be through the sod such that I could then cut good.
Now these kind of cut, but the one up on the high side, didn't do much.
Well, I mean, I can definitely go in with the loader bucket,
Yep, well,
but it's going to be not easy. I want to talk to you guys that are watching at this point. A couple of things may not be obvious to anybody that's watching us. First is, I really want to cut flat down through there. But it's hard to cut flat with a bucket unless you have a place where your rear wheels are flat, okay? So I've got to get started somehow, right? So I don't have any place that's flat. Now, having said that, trying to load a bucket uphill is a horrible idea. I mean, you can't push anything anyway with these little tractors, and then try to do it uphill. That's a disaster. So I'm just trying to get enough cut here to be able to get on level ground, flat ground, I would say, a little bit of flatness, and then I should be able to maybe go with the roadway. Road's wanting to go down that way is how we're wanting to do it. See how the tractor's unlevel here? I can't do anything until I get the tractor level. There, now I can cut. Notice the anti-box blade bias here coming back through. I've tried 2 or 3 things, having trouble with that sod, and yep, I'm gonna go back to the loader bucket, right? But if you're a box blade lover, don't give up on me. This is your episode. Once I got it started so that the rear wheels were on the level like I wanted, the bucket worked okay. It does a good job of digging, but it doesn't do a real good job of kind of a smooth, gradual removal. Any advice?
Okay.
yeah, you're doing fine.
Dice, necesito consejo. Y Kenton dice, va bien.
Okay, I want these
Up, out of the way. All right?
turned upside down.
Okay. And then you're going to try tilting the blade back more? Or what?
Well, I think once I got the sod off, I can cut with it. And I'm going to put that side down a little bit. Nipex boy.
Ah, Nipex, güey. Perica, pero como perica, ¿va? He calls that a little parrot, that thing you have in your hand.
The Nipex?
Well,
Oh.
but because
The
that one's a
turnbuckle.
Nipex, but there's different brands. He's
Uh-huh.
like, oh, those things are good for everything.
Well, this is try number, what, 3, 4, 5? Down more on this, and up a little more on this. Now we're getting somewhere. Folks, remember, we're in Honduras. We're just trying to figure out how to get this done. Safety is certainly, I would say, third in this case, because we don't have any other tools available to us except for Bombin here. So we've got to figure out a way to get it done. Come on, Christy. It's kind of ironic that you would point out where the future medical clinic is when I'm talking about safety third. I don't think it's far enough along to help us if we have any issues today. Next time, I'd like him to set the sticks up like a meter away from the road so that I don't have to work so close to the line.
Good idea.
What do you think, and what does he think so far? Obviously, he moved
They're
the
very
sticks.
happy. The speed, how it's looking, what you're doing. He was like, yeah, see how he's moving stuff on this side, not touching, because you don't have to do that as much. So why does him standing on there help?
Drives that tooth down. It was right
doesn't-
on the top.
But
It-
isn't there,
No,
there's
no
no
down
hydraulic,
pressure.
there's no pressure on that.
Not on the 3-point hit.
I
Well, you
think
sure-
we're beginning to learn.
You made it go down when you were on with the one scar fire.
Dave makes great ballast.
Yeah.
And no, in America, don't do this at home. Okay, I'm gonna pull it up somewhere so we can, I wanna slope the other direction. Dave, loosen that jam nut all the way up to the top. Notice that on this second cut, I'm more determined with the box blade. I've seen it work once now, so I know we can get that sod off of there and achieve our goal this way. So this is a major TTWT transition happening right before your eyes. Any thoughts?
Oh, I thought you were going to. I thought you were going to tell us what you were doing.
Well, I think I may lengthen the top link just a little bit, but I mean, this is not sloped that much, but we still got to get a cut out of there to get a ditch in, don't we?
Now that's, yeah, I would think. That's a good question.
Well, that's not really
You mean-
a question.
And it
for
would
me.
be on this side, right?
I have to put a ditch on this side,
This
yeah.
side.
Have to get it sloped this way, basically.
Yeah, just a little.
And
now,
we're not.
Are you concerned about leveling some of these hills out, or are you just
Eventually, but we
Oh,
got to
okay.
get this down.
Gotcha.
Dave, let's dig.
And that'll be a big plus for them if he can get that scored in, even though it's not going to rain.
Right.
Got plenty of earthworms.
Well, that's good.
We go fishing.
I'll tell you what, I like walking up this now better than I do walking through the ground.
Well, yes, indeed. Just this little thing here was
Right? When you're like, well, this isn't really anything yet, and you're like, no, this is already like way better. And obviously, we're gonna have to widen a bunch
Just a little bit.
because
and
when you,
keep
it
going.
looks real good when we're standing here, but if I'm coming to forward,
Oh yeah,
it's not good enough yet.
Yeah, and you know what? Once
that's
he
okay.
once he lifts the scar fires up and levels out the blade, you can make that smoother than.
Yeah,
It's coming along.
spread it
Well, I
out.
just meant like when we come down through here and like
Oh, with
how
the
much
loader?
how far out are we really gonna have to
I
go?
usually-
Yeah, to make that turn.
Hey,
I
Felipe.
wondered that too.
I knew I shouldn't have come up here.
Felipe hurt his back just before we got here, so he's had several injections, I think of steroids or something, to try to help with that.
So when you want to unload the bucket,
Cuando quiere desahogarse,
I usually raise it just a little bit,
solo levántalo un poquito. Y un
and then
poquito,
I
un poquito.
continue driving
Y
and
luego
spread
sigo
it.
manejando y va arrajándolo poco a poco.
Pero por ejemplo este poco lo puedo tirar allá con la cuchara.
I'm
Where should we put
translating. He's like, well, I could just pick this up with a bucket and throw it over here, he says.
Yeah, you can.
Se puede.
As if you're wanting to back up again, you have
Pero
these
si-
big humps to go
Pero
over.
ahora, si usted quiere ir de retroceso, ahora tiene que boom boom.
Sí.
He's in agreement that that is not ideal.
So usually if I raise it just a little bit, I can
Entonces,
spread
cuando
that.
vengo abajo, si lo solo levanto un poquito, va deshaciéndose todo el trayectorio. Okay, now he's got it.
It'd be a lot easier for me to be a good teacher if I actually knew what I was doing. Yeah, I admitted that on YouTube. I mean, we're all learning to some degree, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. The blade only cuts usually for the first few feet. Once it gets to a certain fullness, it just drags along on top. So if he backs all the way up here and starts every time, he'll dig a hole.
Entonces, si usted va siempre al mismo punto de inicio para iniciar a escarbar, va a hacerle un hueco.
So sometimes you start here,
Entonces, a veces
Sometimes
empieza aquí, a veces aquí.
wherever is the highest knob, is
Donde
you can just
está
get
el punto
behind it,
más alto, eso es donde debe empezar. No tener que hacer
and then be
pasadas
smooth all the way.
completas.
Muy bien.
Is he think it's doing okay?
¿Cómo piensa?
Bien.
Jeffrey está en favor.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. More. More. Less.
Well, I'm not sure how this is going so far, and it seems to me like we may have started a little too steeply up here, or not steeply, but a little too aggressive here, so I'm not really sure. I'm wondering if we need to move it out a little bit this way. They're doing good, though. I don't want to direct them too much. I'm wondering if we need to do a little bit, another strip, maybe 3 or 4 feet this way, to make it a little wider.
Él
No?
quiere que lo hagamos un poquito más para allá. Como 2 metros.
Is this the best place to put the dirt?
Aquí,
Or should we pull it out here somewhere?
aquí mejor o mejor ponerlo más para allá.
No, aquí mejor. Porque tenemos que cambiar la base de allá.
Okay. This needs to tighten against the other. Parrot.
La perica.
Paprika?
Ahora sí, bien.
Is it
Bien,
good?
buen.
Bien? Okay.
Bien. That's a root there, but he needs to pull on through it.
Es una, o sea, de los árboles, ¿cómo se llama? ¿Ah?
Raíz.
A la raíz, ajá. Entonces, si lo sentís, solo dale, dice él.
They gotta break it.
Porque lo tenés que cortar. ¿Va pues?
Keep more throttle.
Well, he may have to back up and give
Yeah,
it a...
yeah. Keep going.
Dale.
Yep, keep going. Yep, one more time. Hey!
Hey,
Now back
got
up.
There's gonna be another one or two. Oh yeah,
Like it when a plan comes together?
amen.
Jeffrey seems to have a good sense of how to deal with the tractor. He's never operated the 3-point hitch position control until today. So acquiring that concept of gradually emptying the box blade, that's pretty good for just a few minutes here.
It's gonna be where they get the Gator around here.
First test.
He's gonna drive down, see how it negotiates.
Hey, it's better than it was.
Yes, it sure is.
Yeah.
Good enough for a Gator. Now we just need it good enough for a Ford.
Well, that's a start.
What's more unstable, the Gator or the Bombin?
Bombin, I would think.
Jeez, he's going all the way down.
Well, he's going to try and find out where that hole is they were talking about, I think.
It's right there. It's right where they're at.
Oh, right. Oh, I thought he was pointing on down further. I see.
Crazy that for what we would need for that, we're essentially done.
Yeah.
You may have seen this Gator on our channel before. Kenton used to own it. He sold it to him. I bet he gave him a pretty good deal.
Okay, so that's Bombin. This is Sompopo.
Sompopo.
It's Sompo, S-O-M-P-O-P-O. It can be an annoying type of ant, but they're tough.
Son Popo.
The ant.
Sompopo.
It's got a name now.
It's got a name.
I have to
Sompopo.
write this stuff down.
I wonder why you guys said it wouldn't go down here. I thought we don't need any road for this Gator. I don't know how to do a turn. I honestly have no idea, Kenton.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That ain't it.
No. I was curious. Now, see if you can finesse your way down here without.
Oh shoot, I can go any of this without any problem, right?
Well, there's a stump right there.
Well, I'll try not to run into that.
Hey,
Hey, what?
let's do an experiment.
What? Put us all in here?
Yeah, and see, I'm a little curious as to what, and coming up this hill would be good. He said,
You two get in here, we'll see how much we can carry.
Ronnie said he had 300 pounds of coffee that he was hauling, or Felipe guessed out. Maybe Jorge. See if, oh yeah, let's try it and see how we get along. So we got, well, I'm 200, so 2, 4, 6, We got about 750 pounds.
Okay, guys, here's the
Hang
uphill.
on. Oh, I thought you were going to go straight up the hill. Oh, there's that stump up there.
Okay, we're trying to figure out how much coffee we can haul out. These guys aren't coffee, but at least we know we can haul them. We may have to get 1 or 2 more people in. We're gonna be able to haul out some coffee. One thing we noticed was that the front end's a little bit light when we're coming up those steep hills. We've got a 2-inch receiver on the front. We were thinking maybe we could put one of those little carry-alls on it and put a couple of bags of coffee up there. That's pretty nice.
That's impressive. No brakes. We can't use brakes. You got to learn to do it without the brakes.
Okay, I was doing both. I was trying to keep it up here engaged.
No, do not use the brakes because they will burn those brakes out in a heartbeat up here.
Okay.
We learned that on the BUV that was sent down. There you go. You got it. Yeah, that was part of the testing, was to see if they could do it without using the brakes. Well, that's a bit of a hole there, huh?
It's fine though here in low range.
They could fill that in a little.
Well, that's about all the time we have today. We've got to get back down the mountain. It takes an hour and a half to get there. Now, I'm sure a bunch of you box blade experts are probably screaming at your phone or your TV or whatever, saying I don't know how to use it. Well, like I said earlier, we are all learning. We're doing the best we can. And I learned a lot today about box blades. I still may not know the right way. I welcome your comments, but understand sometimes you just have to do what you have to do to get her done. I think we got some basic education for ourselves, and I think we were able to help the local team here to learn more about their tractor. They had never had the 3-point on until yesterday or the day before. So this is the first time they'd ever tried to use a box blade, never seen anything like it. They thought what we did today, just the little cutouts on the sides of those hills, would have taken well over a week with manual labor, and they would have done it. That was what they had intended to do. But having this little tractor is just going to help a lot. We got another day here. We intended to install the bolt-on hooks, but we forgot our drill bit and we had the wrong drill, and yeah, it just didn't go right. Hour and a half back to the main mission house tonight, and maybe we can regroup and be ready to go tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Okay, you're in the way, Christy. Never mind that you're 40 feet away. He's not going to back up until you're out of there. They don't work like we do. I half run over you and figure you're going to get out of the way.